MSNBC's Tamron Hall cuts off a contributor's microphone over a Mitt Romney defense. I have mixed feelings about this. I'm going to play it for you. The conservative guest came out and said, you know what? This is a media-driven story that I reject. I'm kind of into saying that, right? I mean, I'm into the idea of pointing out to mainstream media, this is a non-story that the mainstream media has blown up. The thing is, I don't think this is the best time to make that argument. I'll play it for you. You tell me what you think, Lewis.
Okay, well, I'll talk about the marijuana in 1 second, but what you're doing here is a typical media trick. You hype up a story, and then you justify the second-day coverage of the story by saying, oh, well, people are talking about it. Here's how Romney responded to it. No, let's move on to substantive issues.
You don't have to answer a single question I ask you. You did not, and you didn't have to accept the invitation to come on. You knew what we were going to be discussing.
Yes,
I'm not trying to put a job on. Hang on, Tim, because you're kind of in my house here. The problem is this. The story is out there, and you're right. I am not saying that we should belabor what happened 50 years ago. We're talking about the response by the campaign and by the governor, not just on this issue. He says, for example,
you are bringing up a meta story here, which is what is the Romney response to this other non-story? I'm trying to go meta on you and say, here's some media treatment.
You don't want me to go anything on you because you're actually irritating me right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Because yes, you are, because you knew the topics we were going to discuss. You knew them. You agreed. And we're not talking or demeaning. Listen, 50 years ago, I was a much tougher kid probably than Mitt Romney was in high school. I'm not talking about the issue of whether he was bullying or not. He says he doesn't remember. To be fair, I cannot say he does. What I'm asking you about is how the campaign has handled this decision, handled this situation, how he handled the Colorado reporter, how he handled same-sex marriage, where he said he agrees with gay parents being able to adopt, but he does not agree with same-sex marriage. Just the handling of questions beyond the economy. If you're not comfortable talking about that, I am A-okay, but you're not going to come on and insult me. You're not going to come on and insult the network when you...
Okay, so then she basically just cuts him off, and that's it. He's not really allowed to speak again. So I don't know how I feel about this. I love media critiques of mainstream media on mainstream media. At the same time, he knew what he was being invited on to talk about. If that was his plan all along, to react that way, I guess it just didn't work for him. I don't know.
He didn't really even have a chance to answer the question. I'm glad he brought up what was a good point. That is something that the media is very guilty of. And her rant was just completely annoying. I mean, so what if he goes off topic a little bit? I mean, give the guy a chance to respond.
Yeah, but Lewis, I mean, the thing is, and in this particular case, this is a good story. Last week, you and Natan said you think that the Mitt Romney anti-gay bullying thing is bogus. We'll talk about it more later on the show. I actually disagree, and I've gotten emails from lawyers and all sorts of people explaining why we should actually be concerned about that. So I actually just happen to flat out disagree with you in this particular case. I think he just doesn't want to answer because Mitt Romney being an anti-gay bully in high school is not a good story. For them, for the conservatives.
Okay, maybe not, but like I said, he didn't even get a chance to respond to it.
All right. On today's bonus show, we'll talk about bombs in pets. We'll talk about some crazy military spending. We'll also talk about that obese boy who was removed from his mother because it was considered child abuse, losing 50 pounds and being returned to the parents. Incredible story. DavidPakman.com/membership. Sign up today to get that bonus show. Produced by producer Louis Motamedi, the one and only, right?
That's right.
Okay, we'll take a break and be back after this.
The David Pakman Show at DavidPakman.com.